The evil stepbrother who sold his brother's heritage. What if the person you trusted the most was the one secretly destroying your life? In a quiet African community, two brothers stood over their father's grave, one mourning a loss, the other planning a betrayal. What began as a shared inheritance soon turned into a ruthless scheme that would strip one brother of his home, his name, and his future. This is not a story about spirits or magic. It is a story about greed, lies, patience, and a revenge so perfect it shook an entire village. Stay with me, because the truth you're about to hear will change everything. Please follow, like and share. The sun was barely setting when the family gathered under the old mango tree. The burial was over, but the pain still hung in the air. Kola sat quietly, his head bowed, while Beo stood confidently beside the elders. The village lawyer cleared his throat and began reading the will. Their father's farmland, rental houses, and transport business were to be shared equally between both sons. The land was not to be sold without mutual consent. Kola nodded with gratitude. Beo smiled, but his smile was tight, forced. As the elders praised Kola for his humility, Beo's eyes hardened. That night, while Kola mourned in silence, Beo stepped out and made a phone call. "Prepare the buyer," he said. "The land will soon be mine." A week later, Kola walked to the farmland and froze. Strangers were measuring the land, marking boundaries. Farmers were arguing, shouting his name. When Kola confronted Beo, his stepbrother calmly handed him documents. "I sold it. Father owed money. I handled it." The papers looked official. Witnesses backed Beo's story. Even the elders warned Kola not to question legality. But later that night, Kola compared the signature to an old letter from their father. His heart dropped. It wasn't his father's handwriting. Within weeks, rumors spread like wildfire. Kola was called careless, irresponsible, and greedy. Tenants refused to pay him rent, saying Beo told them Kola had no rights. Kola confronted one tenant, who confessed Beo collected 2 years' rent in advance. Kola realized this was no accident. This was a long-planned betrayal. Kola visited the elder who signed as a witness. The man wouldn't look him in the eyes. Outside the elder's house sat a brand new car. The same one Beo drives, Kola thought. When pressed, the elder whispered, "Leave this matter. Some doors shouldn't be opened." Kola walked away shaking. The betrayal went deeper than he imagined. One morning, strangers arrived with eviction papers. The family house, his home, had been sold. Neighbors watched as Kola's belongings were thrown outside. Beo stood at a distance, watching. Homeless and humiliated, Kola left the village with nothing but a small bag and his father's old notebook. That night, flipping through it, he found property codes and bank references. Hope flickered. In the city, Kola worked menial jobs. But every free moment, he visited banks and land offices. Slowly, the truth emerged. Several properties were registered under a company still legally owned by their father. A lawyer studied the evidence and said, "If you rush this, you lose. If you wait, he goes to prison." Kola chose patience. Kola returned to the village pretending to be broken. Beo laughed and offered him a small job. Kola accepted. Late at night, he copied files, emails, and payment records. One evening, he recorded Beo bragging. "I forged everything," Beo laughed. "Who could stop me?" Kola finally had him. During a community meeting, Kola stood up, with a lawyer, police officers, and officials. Documents were displayed. Bank records exposed. The recording played. Gasps filled the air. Beo panicked and tried to flee, but police blocked him. The village that once mocked Kola fell silent. In court, Beo still smirked, until the father's notebook was presented. The judge revealed illegal sales, money laundering, and bribery. Betrayal collapsed. The judge announced sentencing and total asset seizure. Betrayal lost everything: his freedom, wealth, and name. Kola reclaimed the heritage and turned part of it into a community trust in their father's name. Standing on the restored land, Kola said, "Greed makes you rich fast. Truth makes you rich forever." Moral: those who steal family heritage don't just lose property, they lose honor, freedom, and legacy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment what you learn.